Hello everyone, welcome back to Porkies Collectibles. Today we have another great video for you. Today is going to be another video on how to collect and invest in Pokemon. Last time we did talk about condition in Scrappy, and today we're going to talk about another letter in our acronym. Today we're going to talk about the rarity, not to be confused with scarcity. Scarcity is how hard or how difficult it is to attain a card, say from there's only 10 cards in the world, or a special promotional event that you have to get those cards from. We're instead going to talk about rarity, the different types of rarities of cards. Are they common, uncommon, they're rare, they're ultra rares. We're going to go over many of them today and try to do the best we can. There are a lot of different rarities in Pokemon, and we'll try to hit all of them. If I do miss any, please comment down below and let me know, as well as if there's any questions or confusions, please comment down below. And as always, please follow us on Instagram at Porkies Collectibles and check out our eBay shop. So let's go ahead and dive right in. We're gonna go with, there's no real good order to go through, so I'm just trying to jump in and hopefully it will make sense. So let's start out with some common cards. Common cards are the basis of any Pokemon trading card game in terms of the packs you get. These are common cards. Common cards can be denoted with a circle on the bottom right hand corner. Here's a couple common cards. Now, common cards usually are not that, well, they're the least rare obviously, but they usually don't command a premium for, because they're so common that you can obtain multiple copies of them just from opening packs. That being said, certain cards will be worth more than others. These ones obviously, because these are the original starters. So whenever there's certain letters within the acronym, some other letters come into play when it comes into rarity. Even though these are just common cards, because these ones are more popular, P in one of the P's in Scrappy, then it's gonna obviously be more sought after. All right, next, let's keep moving. Oops, did I just damage that? Oh, well, it's okay. All right, so we have uncommon cards. Uncommon cards, it's kind of hard to see, but they're denoted with a diamond right there. Down there, just a little diamond. So circle, now diamond is going to be uncommon cards. There's usually more common cards in a pack, like 5 or 6 of them, and then like uncommons will be like 2 to 3 of them, and you'll get one rare and one reverse rare. I'll explain that more later on. But anyways, so here's some uncommon cards. Another thing is certain uncommon cards also will fetch a higher price depending on another P in Scrappy, which be playability. So whenever people play the actual trading card game, which is what it's intended for, if it's a very good card or has a very good ability, those cards tend to be more sought after because people want to use them to play the game because they do very well. So in that sense, certain cards were worth more. So this is an example. This is only a common card, but this one is worth a lot more than a standard uncommon card. Sometimes the uncommon cards are a couple cents. This one's a couple dollars. So these look the same, but this one right here is an autograph. So this is a player that played with this card and was in the World Championships, hence why this was a reprint of it. So sometimes things you have to look out for is not only just the rarity, but the playability, popularity. Sometimes you have to look online at TCG Player or other websites to get an idea of how much the card is actually worth, because not all commons, uncommons, and rares are worth the same amount of money. Okay, next we're going to go into the next rarity, which is going to be rare cards. Rare cards are going to be denoted with a diamond on the bottom. I know it's kind of hard to tell. I'm trying to zoom in properly, but there's diamonds on the bottom of these cards. Okay. Now, oops, these are kind of out of order. No, they're not out of order. They're in order. Another thing you want to look out for is first edition stamps. First edition stamps are only prevalent in the Wizards of the Coast era. The first print run of a set that only went up to the Neo era. I think Neo Destiny being the last era that last set that had first edition stamps. First edition stamps are more sought after, so just keep that in mind of its non-first edition variants. So these are non-first edition rares. So these are another example of rare cards. They're not holographic. None of these are holographic right now. These are just rare cards. You get one per booster pack if you don't get a holographic rare. And what are holographic rares? Let's go over the next one. I know a lot of these are just kind of repeats or people already know about them, but I figured I might as well go through all of it so then, it's understandable for people. So these are holographic cards. Holographic cards are, there are different kinds of holographic cards. Holographic, it just means that it has a holographic picture. In this sense, you can tell from all these different holographic cards. First edition, there are most holographics are rares, which are denoted by the star on the bottom. That being said, there are holographic commons and uncommons. Usually those ones are like promotional cards in decks or blister packs. So keep that in mind. Not all holographics are rares, but for the most part, if you get it from a actual pack, holographic usually denotes a rare. All right. So also later on, there were different kinds of holo patterns. So just make sure you keep that in mind. At the very beginning, they have these star patterns, original Wizards of the Coast. Later on, they changed it over to like a cosmic foil where they have like these dots. And later generations, they did different types of foiling. You got, I think this is from black and white era. And you can tell that it does kind of weird lines, but that's a holographic card. And then more holographic cards. And then more recent ones, they do like a vertical line or, the vertical line is going straight down. So those are holographic cards. All right, next is this one's a little more difficult to understand in the sense that there are so many different varieties of this type of rarity. Now, it's not really a type of rarity in the sense that it's a different kind of pattern. So we're going to talk about reverse holographics. So we talked about holographics. Holographics are going to be usually just holographic inside the borders of the Pokemon picture. Reverse holographics are going to be the outside of the border. So the picture is not holographic and the exterior is holographic. And you can tell right here, it's actually really nice to actually be able to see all the holographic right there. So those are the differences. Holographic, the picture is holographic. Reverse holographic, the picture is not holographic and the exterior is holographic. That's a lot to talk about, but that's how it is. So here's a standard holographic, reverse holographic, why do I keep saying that? Reverse holographic card. There are different varieties, so I'll go through them. Here's another reverse. You can see the outside is shiny. Here is another reverse. The card is, most of the card is holographic. Now, one of the interesting variants you might want to look out for, let me make sure that, it is the EX era. EX era, EX Deoxys, Legend Makers, EX Dragon Frontiers. There are different types, but how to note that it's a reverse holographic in that specific era, even though it's holographic in the picture itself, it has a stamp with the set name. So in the EX era, there are cards where you will see, like, for example, Wigglytuff right here. There's a holographic version of this, which is just regular holographic in the foil picture itself, but the reverse holographic will have the set name printed on it, and then will show like a holographic pattern in here. So here's our examples of reverse holographics. All of the same stamps right there. You can see right there. Same thing, holographic, but has a stamp. So these are reverse holographics, but these are specifically for the EX era cards. Here are some other Radiant Collection cards. These are also reverse holographic. There are different types of foilings, sparkly, just glossy looking. This is from everyone should know this one. I had the Evolutions. I brought some of those in. Later on, they also have like symbols throughout the picture. Not throughout the picture, throughout the cards. That lightning symbol. Meowth will have these like, regular normal symbols throughout. These are more of the more recent cards. So there are different varieties of reverse holographic cards. I know that was a lot to take in, but if it's confusing to you, just make sure to reach out to me and I'll explain to you more if you need it. Next, it's a different kind of... We talked about stamps earlier, about how to figure out if it was a reverse holographic in the EX era. Next, we're going to talk about pre-release cards. Pre-release cards will have a giant pre-release right there. You can see them right there. Pre-release, pre-release. Pre-release is exactly what it sounds like. It was a pre-release card before the set came out. These were handed out just so people can get the cards beforehand, and usually denoted by that giant pre-release stamp. Nothing more to really talk about it, but just be aware there are ones later on where there's Misty Seadra that doesn't have a pre-release stamp, so there are a difference in prices because they have stamps and no stamps. So if you were to try to figure out how much your card is worth, as a collector, you try to collect every kind of variant, but at the same time, if you were to try to sell a card, just pay attention to every detail of the card. There's a pre-release stamp, there's a first edition stamp, everything matters. So when you search online, you'll be able to get the most accurate price for it. So just keep that in mind. All right, next we're going to talk about different kind of foiling. We talked about the cosmic foils, which are like swirls or dots. And we talked about the star pattern ones that are the original from Wizards of the Coast, the first couple of sets. Now we're going to talk about the cracked ice hollow. Cracked ice hollow, you can tell it looks like cracked ice. Cracked ice hollows are usually more promotional cards. They're not your typical set cards, but even though they have the same card in the set, these are usually from theme decks or from blister packs. They're just something to add to the collection. So when you're looking it up, just pay attention to this, that if you see two different Nido Kings and one has a regular hollow foil and this one has a cracked ice hollow, you might want to type that in when you're searching it to get the most accurate price. Okay, just some miscellaneous. Everyone knows this Ancient Mew, but Ancient Mew is a promo card. We will go over other promo cards, but I just want to throw that out there. Just when in doubt, double check each time to make sure you know where you're looking up. All right, next we're going to talk about secret rares. Secret rares come in all shapes and sizes, but the one thing that they have in common is at the very bottom, the secret rares will have a number for the card that is higher than the set's regular amount of cards. So if the set had 132 cards in it, it'd be 133 or 34. It usually denotes that after the main set, these are extra cards in it afterwards. Here are some examples, like Pikachu is number 110 out of 108. Oh man, it's really hard to zoom in right now. But anytime that it's over the actual set number, that denotes a secret rare. Not all secret rares are worth the same amounts. It depends on the popularity of the Pokemon, depending on the rarity of it, depending on if it's a hollow or non-hollow. So these two are non-hollows. So you might want to keep that in mind whenever you're looking it up. Always, when you look them up, look at the card number at the bottom. So when you do, because they're usually different card numbers of the same card. There will be a Pikachu that will be like number 69 out of 108, and there will be Pikachu that's 110 out of 108. Those are two different prices because one of them is a secret rare, which is a harder card to obtain. Let's talk about Shining Pokemon now. Shining Pokemon is one thing that they started off as early as in the Neo series, and throughout the years, even now, they have brought different variants of it out. All right, I will go into ones that are Neo variants, but let's just go over ones that actually say Shining in the title. I probably should put the actual Shining ones in front. All right, so during the Neo era, so this is Neo Revelation. Yeah, Neo Revelation. Very easy to tell, Shining Magikarp. Shining Magikarp This one is a secret rare. So they're going to be different cards with multiple rarities in it. And I'll show you examples of it. But just know that it sometimes gets very confusing, even for me, as they add new rarities on for the newer sets. So Shiny Magikarp is a shining Pokemon. When it's a shining Pokemon, it means there's a variant in its color. So like a shining Charizard will be black instead of the normal orange. So keep that in mind. Whenever you see a Pokemon where the coloration of the Pokemon itself looks different, usually denotes a shining Pokemon. That being said, in the Neo Destiny era, it didn't have it. It just made the Pokemon look shiny. So I'll show you in a second. So here's Shiny Magikarp. It's a secret rare. Here's Shining Raichu. Now, Raichu is not a different color. They just made Raichu look shiny. This is just for the Neo era. So first edition, here we go. First edition, Shining Raichu, secret rare. Number 111 out of 105. Here's more examples. Shining Gyarados. Here's a first edition and non-first edition. Things to keep in mind. Okay, these are later Shining Pokemon. I also wanted to put in the, Shiny Volt ones from Diamond and Pearl, I think. But I think there's too many different variants. I don't want to confuse people. So here's another one where it makes more sense. Magnemite is normally not this color. And you can see all the sparkles around it. Usually in the Pokemon game, whenever you see a shiny Pokemon, you'll see a whole bunch of sparkles come on the screen, indicating that's a shining Pokemon. So this is just something to keep in mind. This is a shining Pokemon. Here's a couple more examples. See how the colors are different than the original ones? So these are shining Pokemon. Shining Arceus, shining Rayquaza. Rayquaza is normally not black. He usually is green. So other things to keep in mind. One of my favorite rarities in Pokemon, I told myself this would be a 10-minute video, but it's already dragging up, so I'll try to speed this through, is Crystal Pokemon. Crystal Pokemon is not really considered crystal. We call it crystal. Oh, I guess it does say crystal right there. Sorry, my mistake. Crystal Pokemon are usually colorless in its top energy, but whenever its attacks are multi-energy attacks, meaning there's fire, rock, electricity, and fire. So normally whenever it's a Pokemon, say it was Charizard, it would be fire type. It would just have fire energies needed for its attacks. But in this case, for Crystal Pokemon, it's not. You can really easily tell. These are from the EX era, but Skyridge mainly. That they're going to be like a white card with like a colorless energy. And also they're going to be secret rares as well. Number 146 out of 144. Here's a couple more variants. These are all different crystal Pokemon, so those are another thing to keep in mind. Crystal Pokemon are fairly rare. They're usually like you might be able to get one in each booster box or one in every two. So they're more sought after, hence they have a higher premium for it. All right, next we're going to talk about EX, Pokemon EX. These are the first EX cards. These are from the EX era, not to be confused with later EXs. These EXs will have a lowercase EX in them. Later on, the newer variants will have a uppercase EX. So I just want to point that out to you. Lowercase EX means from the EX era cards. They're usually more sought after because they're older. And so these are a couple examples of EX cards. Just want to throw that out there for you. That's another rarity. Gold Stars, one of the most sought after cards there are in Pokemon. These ones are also from the EX era. Now, these Gold Star cards are equivalent to the Crystal variants in in Skyridge or the E series era. In terms of these are all the secret rares. So the secret rares in Neo era, like Neo Destiny and stuff, will be the Shining Pokemon. The secret rares for the E-Series, Skyward, Aquapolis, and Expedition will be the Crystal Pokemon. And for the EX era, the Gold Stars are the secret rares. Okay? So different subcategories for rarities, but like I said, it's going to be kind of messy because there's so much to go through. So Charizard, this is a better example. Gold Star right there. A little bit easier right there. Gold Star. So gold stars are going to be secret rares in the EX era, most of the time actually. Later on they changed the numbering, but I guess all right. It's considered secret rare, but for this one it's a special case. There are going to be special cases. This one, the actual card number is not all the way up to or beyond the set number. So the Charizard is 100 out of 101. Usually there's 2 to 3 gold stars in each set, and they're usually the last numbers for it. So these are a couple of variants of gold stars. Keep an eye out for gold stars. They're actually really valuable. So those are another kind of rarity. All right, next we're going to talk about cards that came in Diamond and Pearl and Platinum. Now, I'll go over different kinds of these Pokemon. Sorry, it's a lot to try to figure out because there's so many different variants. Let's talk about level X's. Level X's, or for like the most sought after in that era as well. So Charizard level X, Salamence level X, Empoleon level X. These ones are the level X cards, obviously. So you can easily tell them by level X, but there are different varieties of level X. For this one, this is a promo. There's another variety of this level X Charizard that is not a promo from Supreme Victors. So just keep that in mind. When you see Charizard level X, don't just assume, oh, that's the card that's like worth the most, because there are promos. Promos usually don't demand a higher price than the set variant of them. So, though this is really confusing, very technical, but let's say you have a Pikachu level X, and that was in the sets. Those you had to pull from the booster packs, hence they're harder to pull. Whereas if you went to go buy a promotional box that had a Pikachu level X in it, anyone can buy them. They're very available, easy to get. So there's a difference in price. So keep that in mind when looking these cards up. So here's a couple of level X's, okay? Next, we're going to talk about our Prime cards. Prime is a rarity for Pokemon cards as well. It was kind of short printed in... What era was this in? I think this is also in Diamond and Pearl, but no, Platinum. I think it was Platinum series. Heart Gold, Soul Silver. All right, I think it was a Platinum. Don't hold me to it. There's so many different types that it gets confusing sometimes. But Prime cards, love it or hate it. Some people don't like it. I don't really care for it either. It's not the greatest artwork. It's just like close-up pictures of the Pokemon's face, and noted by like a shine, like in his eyes, in their eyes right there. You see how their eyes, I guess this one's not his eyes, but the little like, I don't know, shine they show. But these are a different type of rarity. Not my favorite, but it is another type of rarity to look out for. And then let's talk about one of my favorite, but most underrated in my opinion, are the legendary half cards. The newer, what was it? There are newer cards out where they have 4 cards that combine into one picture. Like the Pikachu V cards, I think, where it shows all the different Pikachus, but it's like 4 different cards. That's one thing to consider. That's kind of based off of this. This is from the Heart Gold, Soul Silver era. And when I call legendary halves, when you put them together, they make the full Pokemon. So there you go. I think these cards are really underrated. They're very beautiful. Here's the Lugia full art. This is considered a full art because it's literally the full card has the art on it. So there's different ones. There's Ho-Oh, there's Lugia, Raikou, and Suicune. There's plenty of different these legendary half cards. All right, let's continue. Here are the giant EX. Other than the lowercase EX from the EX era, these are EX cards. There are EX cards like this, and then there are full art EX cards. How would you tell between full art and non-full art? Full art is literally the whole card. The non-full arts are just going to be the picture. So these are full art cards. Full art cards are usually textured as well. So another thing you want to look out for when you're buying Pokemon cards, I saw a couple of eBay listings where also the price is too good to be true. It's fake. So usually EX full art cards are textured. Let me see. I think there you go. Alakazam's a little easier to tell. See how his face, there's a bunch of lines and there's lines everywhere. It is a texture card. If you see a card where it's all shiny and glossy but no texture, that's usually a fake card. So keep that in mind. All right, and then another variant later on is going to be the Mega EX cards, denoted by M on the very top. Just another variant that to add in for them. Okay. Next, we're going to talk about GXs. GXs are a rarity that I didn't really collect at the time because at that time I was still collecting other era cards, so I didn't really get into it. I missed out on a couple of them, but here are some GX cards. GX cards will just be denoted with a giant GX. Now these cards are come in different varieties. This one is going to be a promo card. The promo cards obviously comes from tins or half decks, whatever. Those are promotional cards. Anyone can get them. They're not that rare. Then we have a full art GX. It's a full art GX. Full art is the whole picture. GX, very easy to explain. Next, we have tag teams. These that came out, for the tag team cards. Tag team set. Sure. I like I said, I didn't really collect the cards in these sets at the time, so just bear with me. But tag team just means exactly it sounds like. It's a tag team between two different Pokemon. So it will have two different Pokemon in its name, and it's a GX. So Venusaur and Snively, Blastoise, and Piplup. This one has 3 different Pokemon, Togepi, Cleffa, and Igglybuff. So those are the tag teams. Here are full art tag team cards, but this one's a little bit different than the full art that we showed for the Wailord and the Magikarp. This one would be kind of like one of the OG alternative arts, which I will explain later on because everyone knows what the alternative arts are now. Full art card, but there is another Raichu and a low-end Raichu GX that looks like a standard picture of them doing like a photo shoot portrait of them. Whereas this one is more of a scenery picture of them. These ones are called alternative arts. They're better artwork. Scrappy A stands for artwork. So these are more sought after. This is one of my favorite cards. Just keep in mind this one's also textured since it's full art. Another secret rare technically would be the Mewtwo GX. This Mewtwo GX, whenever it's an ultra rare is a term used for all rares that are above holographic rares. Later on, if you hear, it's an ultra rare, that just means that it can be a GX, a level X, EX. It's just a general encompassing rarity for them. But then you break it into the other ones we talked about: GX, level X, full art, alternative arts, different things. So this one, GX, full art, because it's full art, alternative art, because it shows more than just the Pokemon, and it's a secret rare because number 78 out of 73. So it's like 4 different rarities in this one card alone. So keep that in mind. There's a lot to go into. And then one of the rarities that are, more for the modern era is going to be the hyper rare or the rainbow rare. Whichever way you want to call it, they go by both. It's, pick your own poison. But here you go. It's going to be another tag team card. It's going to be a Gengar and Mimikyu GX, hyper rare or rainbow rare, whatever you want to call it, full art card. Now this one is also going to be a secret rare because it's number 186 out of 181. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 different rarities within this one card alone. So keep that in mind. Next we have full art character cards. Character cards are just exactly what they sound like. They have the trainer with their Pokemon. Those are character cards. You'll see those more in the Brilliant Stars, or if you saw my VMAX Climax, you'll see the different ones like Umbreon and Karen, and then was the Blue and Vaporeon. It's just a full art picture with the Pokemon and his trainer. So here are a couple of examples for Cosmic Eclipse. We got Piplup, Glade, Pikachu. This one's a pretty cool card. And, you know, these are pretty cool. People like to see these kinds of cards because they show more than just the Pokemon. Next, we're going to talk about full art trainers. Okay, full art, we already mentioned, but trainers by themselves. Here are full art trainer cards. They are always textured. I don't know any of them that are just non-textured. So if you do, those are fakes. So those are a couple examples of full art trainers. All right, next we're going to talk about another type of rarity that Pokemon brought in the newer era, like Vivid Voltage, but then they kind of transitioned out of it because I guess it wasn't as popular or it didn't seem much potential. And these are going to be amazing rares. Amazing rares are going to be this like rainbow colored, shiny, sparkly, textured cards right here. Here's a couple of them. So I think these are pretty cool. But those are another kind of rarity. Next, we're going to talk about gold cards or gold secret rares. These are gold secret rares. They exactly what it sounds like. They're gold bordered, gold throughout, textured cards. These are the secret rares. These secret rares are, like I said, 209 out of 192. These are a different variety of secret rares. These are more common nowadays, so whenever you pull one, you know right away that's a secret rare. All right, finally, let's finish up on the V cards, the most recent cards there are. And then there was going to be V-Star, which is going to be later on in February when the new set for Brilliant Stars comes out. We ran on for, 31 minutes? It's going a little bit farther than I thought it would, but then again, it's so complicated with the different rarities that I try to make sure I go through all of it. I have missed a couple, but we try our best. All right, we have V cards. These are very easy to get. They're really cheap. You'll get like 6 of them or something in a booster box. Nothing really that special. It's just a little bit better than holographic rares nowadays. So these are regular V cards. Then we have V full art cards. These are V full art cards right here. V full art cards are going to be textured. That's how you can tell the difference between V cards and and the different types of V cards. One's non-textured, one is textured. So these ones are more rare than the other ones. Then we have shiny V full art cards. Sorry, so many things to go through. That's a different rarity as well. Here we go. We talked about alternative art cards. These are the most sought after cards nowadays. Everyone wants to pull them. Myself included. They're hard to pull. So they're always full art and they always include a scenery in them. That is what an alternative art is. There is a regular Blissey V that's just a portrait version of itself. No, it's not very sought after, hence why the price is very different. So Blissey V, I really like this card. It's a very underrated card. It's actually really cheap right now. I think it's a beautiful card. So here's one. We got Empoleon V. We got Tyranitar V, one of my favorites as well. Here's Zorora. And these are the different types of alternative Vs. There are the VMAXs as well. Unfortunately, I have not pulled one. I will talk about the end of the VMAXs. So VMAXs are also always full art and textured. That's how VMAX come. Here's a VMAX. Here is a Meowth VMAX. This has a promo star on the bottom, so it's not that expensive. It comes from like a product that you can get easily. Snorlax VMAX. Then we have shiny full art VMAXs. Here's one of them. Ditto is not normally blue, so that's how you know it's a shiny variety of it. Center Scorch VMAX. And then we have rainbow rare or hyper rare full art VMAX cards that are secret rares as well. 194 out of 192. So VMAX, rainbow rare, full art, secret rare. So like 4 different rarities within it. And then the last one I want to talk about is the one I do not have any right now, which is the alternative art VMAX cards. We'll show a couple pictures on screen for you. And those ones are like the Umbreon VMAX, the Glaceon VMAX, the Rayquaza VMAX alternate arts. So those are the most sought after cards right now in the hobby for the newer sets. So just keep that in mind. Hopefully this was helpful. I know I went through a lot of different things and went through it really fast. So if you have any questions, please comment down below, or on Instagram you can message me. I'll be happy to explain this to you. Hopefully you found this helpful. This was a video on the different types of rarities in Pokemon. One of the letters in the acronym Scrappy that is very important when you're collecting and investing in Pokemon. They're all interconnected. The artwork, the alternative art, is part of Scrappy. So was also included. Popularity of the Pokemon, playability of the Pokemon, they all interconnect with each other. So next time I'll probably go over another letter, but today we're at 35 minutes. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and hopefully we see you all next time. And once again, this is Porkies Collectibles. Thank you very much. Bye.